What's up, you guys? All right, well, red day recap here. Second red day recap in a row, down 13,000 bucks. Frustrating day. We didn't see a lot of really good follow through, especially at the open. The open was really choppy. I went into the red and actually made back losses later in the morning, even into the afternoon on NTN, which ended up squeezing up like 250 or 275%. But it was not a good start to the day. I went deep in the red and then had to dig myself out, which is really frustrating. I don't like doing that. It's what I did yesterday. It's exactly what I did not want to do today, and it's exactly what I do not want to do tomorrow. So what I did today that didn't work was, honestly, like taking any trades in the first 15 minutes of the day. I had a couple that were okay, but it was just a bad start. And I don't know, no real rhyme or reason why that happened to be the case. Sometimes it's just the pattern, I suppose, of the market, where I've been noticing this pattern the last few days of some of the pre-market gappers, the leading gappers making really big moves at like 7:30, 8:30 in the morning, and then by the time the bell is ringing, they're already fading. The bell rings and they sell off more. So I've already missed the move. So I think it was a continuation of that pattern, and I think that I need to be a little more disciplined tomorrow, waiting for better quality entries. And if that means trading less, it means trading less. I mean, it's Friday, it's the end of the week. I'm still up on the week about $70,000, $80,000. So it's a good week, all things considered. No reason to have a third red day. So if I can't find really good quality setups, it's not gonna be worth taking any trades at all. I'd rather take 2 great trades than 10 so-so trades. I mean, less is more. So in this market right now. Now we'll get back into a market where things are hot and you can be much more aggressive, but that's just not really been the case the last 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, Thursday. So tomorrow, Friday, got to take it easy, but I hope you guys enjoy the recap. I break down frustrations on my swing trades and my day trades, and we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. All right, see you guys in the morning. All right, you guys, so we're going to do midday market recap here. Well, it's a little later in the day. It's like 2 o'clock, or what is it, 2:15. So that's where I sit on the day. Red, $13,000, second red day in a row. I'm red across the board just about, except really in good shape on NTN. $25,000 in profit on NTN. But red on IGC, red on FAT, red on HX, which I just lost on, and that was my final, like, all right, I'm done. Red on MCRB, and my swing trades are not in good shape either. Well, my Etsy trade stopped me out, and my Netflix trade is fine. So I'll talk about these, the day trades and the swing trades. All things considered right now, let's see. Let me pull up my trades for the month of August. So trades for the month of August, as of right now, I'm up $361,000 on the month before today. So I'll be up $348,000 on the month. All right, so dipping down a little bit. If I go onto my calendar, I was red yesterday by 10,000, and I'm going to be red today by 13,000. So two red days, relatively small. Thankfully, I had a $90,000 day on Monday, so I'm still green on the week despite these 2 red days, which is great. Tomorrow, Friday, I really need to finish the week with a green day, but we'll see what's in store for us. So let me talk about my swing trades first, because I'm frustrated. I'm going to say that I'm borderline furious. So my filled order here on this credit spread, my fill was $4.88. All right, so I had a credit spread, a put credit spread, the $115 and $100 puts. Let's look at the current price of those two. All right, so if I go into this on Etsy, this was the 28th. So if I do 115 and 110, So basically, I had sold the 115 and then bought the 110, which gave me a credit. But I had to buy them. It stopped me out. So I bought the 115 and then sold this. That's a 56-cent debit. How in the world is it possible that I filled at $4.88 when the current value of that is 56 cents? Well, I asked the same question, and I actually talked to TD Ameritrade about it because I said, listen, guys, I was in this yesterday, and I set a stop at $2.50 yesterday. Yesterday, when the market closed on Etsy, that position was in the red, but the current price on it, on that spread, was like $2.20. Now, if you look at Etsy today, it's up like 5%. So let's look at Etsy, ETSY. It's up 5.7%. So how in the world is it possible that at 11 a.m., 11:01 a.m., right here, right at that timestamp, at 11 a.m., that I got stopped out on a trade at $4.88 that is now at $1, is at 55 cents. And they said that for a second, that options contract spiked up. The puts spiked up. Now, puts go up when the stock goes down. So when the stock's going up, the puts are going down. And honestly, it's a bunch of malarkey, if I'm going to be totally honest, because that's impossible. So, whatever. I mean, it's $3,000. Doesn't kill me, but it really pisses me off. It really upsets me because it's garbage. It's not correct. And I tried to escalate to them, and they're just defending themselves. So I got stopped out at $4.88 on a position that's currently worth 55 cents and that I should be green on. And so my max loss on it was $2.50, and it didn't stop me out at $2.50, which was my max loss on the stop order. It stopped me out at $4.88, $2 per contract above that. So for 10 contracts, that slippage right there is over $2,000. So you look at this, and today I locked up profit on the 150 by 155s. They were red on the day, but green overall. I took this stupid loss at $4.88 on this contract spread right here that's currently at, whatever this is. And I took these off the table. I mean, the fact is, so here's the problem. So you can say, well, why are you even using TD Ameritrade? I'm using TD Ameritrade because it's such an easier platform to use for trading options. It's really easy to put trades together. So like right here, I can easily say, I want to do the 120s and then buy the 115. I've got the 25 delta, 15 delta. And then I can click confirm. I can see, okay, max profit, max loss. Okay, this is right. So that's it. And then if I want to do an iron condor, I can say, all right, so I'm going to do that. Plus I'm going to do let's say, this by this down here. So I'm going to sell this one. I'm going to buy this one. And then I'm going to sell this one and buy this one. So now I've got an iron condor here, so I can look at it like this. It's very easy to use, and it's really nice that you can click on a trade and you can very easily set a stop. The unfortunate thing is this is now the fourth time I've had this happen with stop orders at TD Ameritrade. So basically the stop orders are useless because they don't work properly. So I don't know what to say. I mean, it's incredibly frustrating because to take a trade and not have a stop order on it, especially with options, is potentially risking something going against you like really, really badly. So that's why stops are important. And here they're not letting you use it. Now, so let me log out of this for 1 second. I'm going to log back into my retirement account for 1 second. Let's see. So I don't have my in my, actually, I might not even have the quotes turned on this one. I think it's deactivated. But over in Lightspeed, I love Lightspeed for day trading, but for trading options, it's really pretty difficult. So now it looks like actually I don't have any of my, because I think I turned it off because I didn't want to use the market data on it. So in any case, I'm using a platform that is a little bit easier to navigate, but is causing some other problems. So I'm not sure really how to deal with that. If I tried to do options in my Lightspeed account, there's two problems. Number one, Lightspeed won't let you do cash secured puts, which is a problem in a retirement account because I want to be able to do them. So you can only do the spread. So I can't do cash secured puts, which is what I have right now on that Netflix trade. So I can't do one of the strategies that I want. And number two, their options chain is like, it's hard to navigate. The order where you put together options trades is hard to use. And so all of it makes it really slow and hard for me to navigate. And I also don't really want to be swing trading in the same account that I'm day trading in, because if I log in and I'm already starting the day red because of swing trades, that throws me off when it comes to my day trades. So instead, I kind of separate the two. So swing trades over with TD, day trades with Lightspeed, and I think the fact is, unfortunately, I'm just not going to be able to use stops on some of these trades if I want to trade them, and that's not ideal. But what happened today is not ideal either. So I think probably Etsy it's not the most thickly traded in the options market. So stocks like Apple and Tesla probably I would think would have better performance with stop orders. But I'm not really sure, and I'm not super interested in switching brokers and doing all that stuff because it's just such a pain to do it, especially when you have to move a retirement account because you've got to do like a special type of transfer, and it took like 3 weeks to get this one set up just to transfer it from Lightspeed over. So I'll just stick with it. And today's a little frustrating that happened because I was sitting here looking and I was like my Etsy trade is in great shape. Like I said it like 2 minutes before I looked over and my position was gone, and I was like, what just happened? Why? How is this even possible? So. All right. Well, I've got my Netflix trade. So the Netflix, I sold the 465 puts at $1.70. They're at 68 cents right now. I'll say that I don't love that it's coming back down a little bit at this very moment. But at the same time, these expire tomorrow at the end of the day. So I'll probably be all right there. My strike price is 65. So I'm a ways out. I think I'll be okay. S&P 500 is coming back down as well, so that's probably creating a little bit of the drop on Tesla or on Netflix. I was thinking about doing a Tesla trade off the top. This one might not be a bad idea up here. I could do a Tesla call spread. So let's look at the weekly. I don't want to do that far out. I want to do this week. The problem on Tesla is that even way up here at 1800, the premium's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. But the volatility is still pretty high. Tesla can move up and down 30, 40 points, and that can create big swings in the option price. So if I do even if I do a call spread that's way out at 1800, I could still have some serious volatility in that price. If I come down to like 1689, which was the pivot back here, I'll just say 1700, that's at 415. I could sell this here for a 70-cent credit, $700 credit, but my max loss on it's 9,300, which is why typically I would say, okay, I'm just going to put a stop on it. $700 credit, I'll put a $700 stop on it. But then if I come back and I see I got stopped out, like I had happened earlier in the week where I came back and I'd gotten stopped out for like a $160 loss. I was like, it never hit 700. Why did it, or my 1-to-1, why did it just jump me out? I'm back out of the trade. It's ridiculous. So that's, it's important to be able to manage your downside. And when you're not sitting and staring at it, like that's the other problem with Lightspeed. Lightspeed doesn't allow you to set any stop orders on options trades, which is why I was like, that's unacceptable. Because I need to be able to manage my risk. I understand if you're day trading, if you're doing a day trade on options, okay, fine. You're staring at it. But if you're doing it as a swing trade, then, some bad news comes out, something happens. You want to be able to control your downside risk. It's important. It's how we trade. So if you can't control your downside, then the upside's not worth it. So I don't know, given this problem here, that I'd be comfortable with taking this trade. Because the downside on the call spread can be pretty nasty. And Tesla, this is a red doji on the daily. It totally feels like it's due to pull back after that big move. There's the split that's coming up. So, the overall market's pulling back a little bit, but this contract down here at 1700 is going to be too volatile. Even right now, look, this was just in the 4s. Now it's in the 5s. Look at how fast this jumps around. So you got to go further out of the money to get to the place where you can be in something and not staring at it. Weren't we just looking at this at like 120? So this thing is like really moving around quick. 164, 158, 175. Next thing you know, just like that, you look away, you look back, it's at 250. So that's the case with some of these stocks like Tesla and Amazon that are volatile, and their options chains are also pretty volatile, which is great for swing trades as long as you can manage your risk. All right, so enough about that. So let's look at the day trades from today. So today not only was frustrating on the swing trade side, it was also frustrating on the day trade side. Thank goodness for NTN. NTN went up over 250% today, from $4 all the way up to a high of $7.76, which is awesome. It is coming back down now, but in any case, still some great opportunities there. It looks like a flush down to the volume weighted average price. No surprise there. So I started my day on FAT. And this one, my first trade was actually pre-market. So I can't remember where this was. Go back up here. So the first trade was actually, I was buying to anticipate the break over 12. And that was like right in this area here. I think it was on this micro pullback. It came back up, popped over 12, and then flushed down. I made $1,800 on the first trade. It flushes down, and I tried to do a dip trade on it, and I lost on 2 dip trades. So going into the open, I was up only $500. 1 winner and 2 losers. So that was going into the market open. The market opens, and this rips up and gets halted right here. On resumption, it squeezed and then flushed down to 915. And I bought 5,000 shares and then added another 5,000 and then went up to 15,000. I was trying to do a bounce trade. And in hindsight, I thought it was going to false halt and rip back up. I thought it was like opening, flush, and then rip back up. And I was wrong. It halted going down. So it halted going down right here at 915. It resumed and hit a low of 784, popped up to a high of 911. I was in at 915, but I took the loss on it of $14,000. So that sucked. And if I look at it, it wasn't a very good trade. It was a stupid trade. So that's a little annoying by itself, because it's not like it was an A-quality trade. It was just it just wasn't. It wasn't an A-quality trade. It was a poor quality trade. I took way too much risk on it, and I really don't know. I don't even know why I did that. I reacted quickly. I saw it there at 9:15. I thought it was doing a false halt, and I was like, boom, I'm going in. IGC was also one of my first trades out of the gates, and on this one, I got long. I got long right here for the break over. What is this? I got long right here for the break over 350. and it flushed down, and I stopped out of it. I stopped out quickly, though. I cut my loss fast. So I cut my loss on it as it came back down here. It came back up and did a red to green move, ripped up, and I got long, but then I added way too high, and it flushed way back down to 380. It bounced back up to 420, but it didn't recover, and I was in way too high. And so on that one, with 30,000 shares, I lost $17,000. Well, I guess not in one trade, because I had my first loss and then the second, but 2 losses on it. So that was, it's like just a disaster, those 2 red trades in a row. Now, I did have some trades on NTN in the middle, because NTN was already starting early in the day. As you can see, it was ripping up. So again, NTN is my saving grace for today. It's the only reason I'm not down a lot more than I am. So yeah, nice moves on that, but we'll cover that in a second. So then we had MCRB. MCRB, super frustrating because I jumped in it. This was a trade this was a trade that I took for the break at 27 that immediately dropped back down to 25. And I lost $3,000 on it, or $4,000. And then I got back in it in this area right here. It popped up for a second, came right back down. I tried it again right through here. It popped up for a second, came right back down. And then right here, finally, it rips all the way up to $31 without me. How frustrating. So sometimes they go, without you. And today, this one went without me. So super frustrated on that one. In my last trade on HX, I was trying to do a 1-minute micro pullback on a long right here for break over 78, and it came back down. So on that one, 20,000 shares, the bottom fell out, and it dropped from 70 down to 50, 20-cent drop, and so I took a $3,600 loss on that. But again, back to NTN, this one was the one that saved the day for sure. So we had some really good action on it overall. As you can see here, right out of the gates from 3 to 350 up to 4. Double top right here, failed to break the double top, flush down, and then came back up through 4 and rips up to 5. Pulls back down, bounces off the VWAP, then back from 5 all the way up to 530. Then back down to the VWAP again, and then from 450 up, double topping at the high of day of 532, and then from there up to 6 to 7, and then all the way up to a high of 770 or so. So I don't know. It was not a great day today for me across the board. It's the second red day in a row, and I have a couple stocks that I'm pretty deep in the red on. None of the losses are more than $20,000, which is good. 25,000 is kind of my mental, I don't really want to lose more than that on one trade. And so I didn't do that, but I did have, 4 stocks that were all good sized losses. So, where could I have done better today? I think initially this morning I was a little frustrated that FAT was already starting to fail pre-market. And I just kind of felt, it's frustrating because we had yesterday such a epic fail on MNPR that I was just like, man, again, this is frustrating. We're not seeing good momentum. What's the deal? We're not seeing good follow through. And so, as a long bias trader, I don't like to see that. And it's hard not to feel frustrated. So the bell rings and it's down here. It then rips up and gets halted without me. I wasn't in it. And then on resumption, I was like, okay, because I was looking at this and I was thinking, you know what? Okay, it's still holding up relatively well. If this thing can rip through the VWAP back to 11 and 12, this might end up seeing a squeeze up to 13. All-time highs on the stock were 1380. So it was not too far off hitting all-time highs from back here. So that's where I was like, above that level is blue sky. So I jumped in sort of impulsively in that flush, which usually I wouldn't do if I didn't already have a cushion. But I had just taken the loss on IGC, which was the leading gapper or one of the leading gappers, and one of the ones I really thought was going to work. And so I was really kind of frustrated, I think initially, that not only had I had kind of a not very good pre-market trades on FAT. But then right out of the gates, this one that was like looking super strong to me, consolidating right underneath this level, look picture perfect for a break through 350 and a squeeze, maybe a haul up to 375, 380. The bell rings, it drops to $3 and then down to 281. So I just was like, God dang it. So I got out of that and then kind of, I think impulsively, because I was a little frustrated, jumped right into FAT without even really taking a breath. I mean, you look at the time of this, and this was like the first 2 minutes, and then FAT was, going into this right here at like minute 3, right there, and then it's halted for 5 minutes. So while it was halted, I switched gears and was trading other stuff. I was trading NTN and MCRB, which neither of those were particularly productive. And then finally, FAT resumes, and I'm taking the loss on it. So just like yesterday, yesterday I was down 25,000 and then recovered half the loss and finished down 11,000 or so. Today, again, I was deep in the red. On these, I mean, this is 14,000 here, that's 17 there, and then there were these ones, but I had profits on NTN. So, but in any case, I was pretty deep in the red, and I recovered a good portion of it, but more than half, I guess. But I still feel just annoyed because I don't like spending the day digging myself out of the hole. It would just be better not to dig the hole in the first place. And so, in hindsight, what could I have done differently? Well, I mean, the very fact that the leading gapper that I was watching, FAT, was choppy pre-market, it's a red flag. The fact that IGC failed right out of the gates, that's the second red flag. But, that could have prevented me from buying into a halt going down on FAT. IGC, I shouldn't have been so aggressive on. I shouldn't have been so aggressive on it. I should have waited for confirmation, waited for a better, better quality setup. HX, that was fine. MCRB, I chased it. And the problem is that we've been in a market for the last couple months where you can really get away with chasing stuff because, I could have gotten away if I chased it right here. If I chased it right here at $28, it went to 31. But because I lost on the first chase, I didn't want to do it a second time. But in the last few months, you've definitely been able to get away with chasing because stocks have just been going higher and higher and higher and higher. Irrationally strong, crazy strong, makes no sense, but it can teach you some bad habits. So in a little bit of a softer, colder market, that's where you have to, fall back on some discipline and have the discipline to say, wait, I got to wait for a pullback. And it's frustrating because sometimes by the time these pull back right here, you didn't get a 1 minute pullback. This thing went from, you have a tiny one here, but this basically went from 28 to 31 without pulling back. And that feels frustrating because you feel like if you had just chased it, you actually would have been rewarded by the market. You would have broken rules and chased it, but you would have been rewarded. You would have made money. If you followed your rules and waited for the first pullback, first 1 minute candle to make a new high, you would have lost money because on this one, by that point, it was too extended. So, again, day trading is not easy. Day trading is very difficult. And even for someone who's been doing it for a long time, because, every day is a little different and every month is a little different and you have to be able to adapt to current market conditions. And that's something that a lot of us really struggle with. We've been trading really well for the last, few months. And so we want to keep doing that well. And, we've been trading with big size or, whatever the case may be for you, whatever's been working, you want to keep doing it. But sometimes the market's going to say, listen, I know, Ross, I want to be trading with 25, 35,000 shares right now. But that was a market, that was okay in the market where we were seeing stocks going up 200, 300% every single day. It would have been okay on NTN today. But on the other 4 or 5 stocks I traded, it was not okay. So you've got to trade the market that you're in. And tomorrow's Friday. It's the end of the week. As I sit here, I'm kind of like, man, I don't know what I really feel like because I've got these 2 red days, 2 back-to-back red days. The cumulative losses between the two are like $22,000, $23,000 or whatever. So 10,000 yesterday, 13,000 today. I'm still up. I was up 100,000 before these 2 days, so I'm still up 75,000 on the week, which is great. I mean, it's not. There's no pity party for me. I mean, I'm still in really good shape here, but at the same time, I don't want to come in here and just keep spinning my wheels, because that's not fun. I don't want to have a third red day in a row. I need to kind of clear the slate and press the reset button. And what's really frustrating is that the only way to do that is to trade with small size. Because with small size, it's much easier to get. I mean, with 5,000 shares, I can get in and get out. One order in, one order out. If I'm trying to take 30,000 shares, by the time I've got my 30,000 share position, I will have taken a starter of 10, I've doubled to 20, and tripled to 30. And that'll be over the course of like 15 cents. And what I'm giving up is just selling the 10,000 shares that I bought 15 cents ago for 15 cents of profit. That's $1,500. With 30,000 shares, now I need the stock to go up not just the 15 cents, but now 20, 30, 40 cents, so I can start unwinding the position for $9,000 or $10,000 of profit. But if we're not seeing 30, 40 cent breakouts, then I'm better off just grabbing the 10, 15 cents a share with 5,000 shares than trying to keep scaling back up to 25, 30,000 shares and keep either getting stopped out break even or getting caught in a flush where I'm losing 5,000 or 8,000 a clip and giving up what could have been a small base hit. Again, I don't want to encourage swinging for home runs, but there's definitely a market where I think it's the right move to be more aggressive, and then there's a market where it's the right move to ease off the throttle a little bit. And last couple of months, it's been the right move to be aggressive. I just uploaded my broker statements for the month of July for you guys. So I'll just pull those up here for 1 second. So if you guys on the Warrior Trading website, you go to the footer down at the bottom, you'll see my 2020 earnings and broker statements. All right, so you've got 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. So this 2017 started with day one of the $583 challenge. So when I started over with $583, January 1st, 2017, I finished that year with $335,000 in profit, right? Then we roll in, and those are the statements from 17. Then we roll into 18, which started at 335 and continued up to like 700. Then we go to 19 that started at 700, went up to like 1.2 million. Then we've got 2020, which is, out of control. Total gains as of, I got to update this, as of July 30th, 3.7 million. $583 to 3.7 million. And so, you go back and look at the hot market that we had in the month of, whatever it is, the month of July. And it was like back-to-back huge green days. Well, number one, I didn't have a single red day in July. I have 2 red days here in August, but it was just like back-to-back, $950,000 gross profit. Go back to June, the month of June, $770,000 in my main account and $550 in my retirement account. It's $1.2 million. It was like we were just seeing huge momentum back to back, and May wasn't bad either. May was also a six-figure month. So, that was a time where it was the right decision to try to scale up as much as possible. And if I could do it all over again, I would do the same thing. And and I would even try to be more aggressive now, having had that experience. But as we come into what has been maybe the last 3 days of choppier markets, I hate to accept any defeat and say, oh, maybe the market's slowing down. But the last 3 days, 1, 2, and today, have not been great. Monday was terrific. Friday, tomorrow, could be amazing. But these last 3 days have not been great. When you come in to the market, you have to ask yourself, what's the condition of the overall market? And I think based on the condition of the overall market tomorrow, even though it's going to feel frustrating and I'm going to feel like I'm, throttling myself back to say 10,000 shares is max size, I can't go for a third red day. I can't do it. I can't have a third $10,000 red day. I mean, I can afford it, but I don't want it. And so I'm going to have to just reduce my share size to start the day. And, if I build a cushion and this and that, then all right, okay, maybe fine. Maybe I can get myself scaled up to some nice trades. But I got to start building the cushion. And until I've built my cushion of $5,000 to $10,000, I can't scale up to 15,000, 20,000 shares. Because when I'm in with 15,000, 20,000 shares on my first trade, and then I lose, that immediately puts me red $7,000 to $10,000, $15,000, and now I'm on the defensive side, and I need to start on the offense. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to be aggressive, building my cushion with 10,000 share trades, and then once I get up to $10,000 of profit on the day, then I'll scale up to 15,000, 20,000 shares. If that never happens, then it doesn't happen. And if I lose, then I'm losing at least with smaller share size, so the losses will be smaller. And we'll finish the week tomorrow with hopefully some nice opportunities, but we'll just see. So that's from the day trade perspective. Swing trades tomorrow. I'll be glad to log into my account and not see this stupid trade on Etsy, which is just a reminder. Well, actually, I guess I'll still be holding these 10 contracts that are worthless, but that was part of one of my spreads, so that's fine. It's only $70. I've still got Netflix there. We've got about an hour to the bell. So Netflix right now, I guess is fine. I would set a stop on it, but watch me do that and then get stopped out at $10 and lose $5,000. Because that's what just happened on Etsy. So I'll go back and say, guys, how is this possible? And they'll say, I don't know. Why don't you just shut the hell up and stop complaining? Because we got other things to do. Because that's customer support. All right. So Netflix. Let's see. Etsy. What else? What else do we have? All right. So Tesla. Yeah, I mean, I do still like the idea of the credit spread up here. The premium is like very, very low, but on the other hand, that's because it's kind of a no-brainer trade. I mean, the trade is basically that this won't break 1800 by the end of day tomorrow. So what do you think the likelihood is that it breaks 1800? I think it's low. I can take that trade right now. Someone's willing to pay me a credit here of about $200 for that trade. So I can try it, and I could try to set a stop on it. We'll see whether or not that gets filled. But the fact is, you're not going to get good odds on a trade like that because the odds of it actually happening are very low. You'll get good odds if you take a trade like right here at the money and say, all right, what's my profit loss ratio? It's 1-to-1. Makes sense. This has a 50-50 chance of being in the money. You're not going to get good odds. Your odds here are better, but it's not. You have such a high likelihood of losing that it's not a trade that would be smart to take. So over here, my limit's at 20 cents. It's at 21 right now, 25. We'll see if it picks it up and fills. And again, I'd like to be able to put a stop on it, but it's only an hour to the close, so I'll leave that. An iron condor around the 5 delta. So yeah, well, that's exactly right. So the probability of this trade right here, so the probability of the 1800 expiring worthless is 96%. I've got 96% probability that this will expire worthless right here. So that's why, this is like a 4 delta. Now, I could do the iron condor spread. You're right. I could go on the other side and also sell the 1400 or something like that. I could sell this and buy this here. That's too low. That's not enough credit. The thing is, the puts are really low in price because we've just had this big move up. The calls are better price. So yeah, if I go down, the thing is, even if this could pull back tomorrow off this green doji, and I could see it coming back down to 1470. You know what I mean? Like, that's not out of this world to see that. So really, I would only kind of feel comfortable like around the obvious spot, which is 1360, and there's no premium on that. That's just too low. and I don't want to do cash secured on this because I don't want to own Tesla at this price. It's still too expensive in my opinion. So I don't think I'll do the Condor, but this, is kind of close to getting filled. I'll see maybe if I have to adjust it a little bit. But it's basically $170, $200. It's not a great profit loss ratio, but it's a trade that has a high likelihood of expiring worthless, which means I get to keep the premium because I'm selling the contract. So starting on Monday, we're going to have options trading classes beginning as part of our back to school summer school program. So you guys can tune in for that. Of course, Warrior Pro students. That'll be in the Warrior Pro classroom starting right around, it'll probably be around 11:30. It'll be when I finish my trades in the morning. So the issue here is that as this starts to come down, the value is going to start to decline. So that 15-cent mark, it's not worth it for 15 cents. And I'm not going to take 100 contracts on it. It's just, I'm willing to take a little bit of risk, but when you start taking a big position, your risk can go really high. So I'll leave this order here as it sits at 20 cents. If it fills in the next hour, fine. If it doesn't, and it looks like it won't, then fine. I'll miss that trade. And I could look into next week. I could always say, roll this out. We'll just look at the, let's see, next week. So if I did this down 1,800 for next week, you're gonna have a lot more premium. See here, 80-cent credit. But one of the challenges with this is that, you're gonna have to, it's gonna be a slower wait because of time decay. It's going to take longer. It's the end of next week, right? And we do have the reverse or the traditional stock split that's coming. I think, what is it, the 24th? I can't remember. Is HX squeezing up again? Yeah, only a little bit though. So, all right. Well, in any case, I'm not going to do anything else there. It is what it is. Netflix is still in good shape. The idea on Tesla is a good idea. Maybe it'll fill, maybe it won't. And Etsy would have been fine if I didn't have a stop order. I'd be up on it today. So, unfortunately, I can't use stop orders with TD Ameritrade on options, which, one of the reasons that Lightspeed says they don't offer them is because of the illiquid market of options that you can get bad fills and stuff like that. So they probably just said, we don't want the complaints that come with it, so we're just not going to offer it. And maybe that's the smart move, because here I am using them and just getting frustrated. But whatever. So now it looks like the credit is 10 and 14 cents on this 1,800 weekly. So as this goes lower, closer to the bell, I got a little greedy. I didn't want to take 170 or 17 cents. I wanted the full 20 cents, and now it's going to go without me. So whatever. All right, well, that's it. Red Day recap, but I think a good day for you guys. Some good lessons here, and we also had a really good Warrior Pro Mentor session with some live trading on NTN. So I think that's going to be helpful for you guys as well. So I hope you guys go back and watch those recordings and enjoy them. And I will see you all first thing tomorrow morning for the watch list. And I hope that we see some good things on the scanner tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I might not even take any trades and just say whatever, cut back on Monday. But I'll decide tomorrow once I see what the gap scan looks like. And I don't know, but I might just take the day off after I do the watch list if I don't feel like there's anything that looks good. So be an opportunity for you guys to get into the classes if that's the case. All right, that's it for me. Enjoy the last hour, power hour. Hopefully there's something that gives you some last minute opportunities, but I'm not gonna push my luck.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Help us hit 750,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, and stay tuned and check out some of my other awesome uploads right here on YouTube.